Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Irwindale Speedway for the Mtn Dew Modified Tour presented by Tagare Property Management. My name is Mason Heimbaugh with Team Goon Squad, bringing you the action in 1080p 60 frames a second. As per usual, welcome back, race fans. If you were expecting a race last week, well, we had an off week here with the American Sim Racing Club, but we are back this week for the first of three last races that we're going to have here with the American Sim Racing Club. So, this can essentially be considered the shootout for drivers all the way until the end of the season. And right now, folks, this has been the season for Brett Hahn, who has currently been leading our point standings for the entirety of this season. At this point in time, he's had a couple drivers that have come close to being in contention with Brett Hahn for points. But right now, as it would seem, Brett is looking to secure the season for the win. Now, we would normally have a points graphic for the series, but this week iRacing decided to throw a curveball to us here at Team Goon Squad, and we got the top 11 drivers, excluding the 10th place drivers. So we don't exactly have the most accurate point standings, but we are going to make do, and we are going to continue on as we always do here. But right now, as we get ourselves warmed up here in the broadcast, as well as warmed up here for the race today, drivers are beginning to start their qualifying laps here today at Irwindale Speedway. And today is also going to be the last race of the season that we are going to see dual features of the race. So, with that in mind, there ultimately isn't going to be any opportunities for drivers to make what I want to say here is drivers aren't going to be able to place first on the grid for a race twice, essentially. So, drivers that have come in throughout the season that have seen these dual features have had the opportunities to possibly either take home first for both features or somewhere in the neighborhood of the pole position, first to third, or even the top five, and that's helped them with points. And while we're babbling away here in the booth, drivers have already completed most of their qualifying laps here. So if you're looking at the left-hand side of your screen, you can see already where most of the drivers are going to place themselves for the race here today. But again, this is the last race that we're going to see dual features as well. This is the third to last race of the season. So with that in mind, things are starting to get quite spicy here as we watch the number 3 of Robert Bisson Jr. take it sideways for just a moment as he was about to complete his second lap there, but as he spun out, right as we tune to the number 74 of Mark Welsh, he gets into the wall. I believe that is out of turn 4. So, a lot of things developing very quickly here at Irwindale Speedway, as qualifying is just about 2 minutes away from wrapping up here officially, but our field has made its way around the track, so there are no other drivers that I can see that need to come around the track. Everyone's made their qualifying. So if you're looking at the left-hand side of your screen, this is basically what our qualifying is going to wind up to be. So Brett Hahn in the 71 machine looking rather comfortable here at Irwindale Speedway with a 16.88 as his official qualifying time. Ron Hart in the 051 going to be taking home second with just below a tenth of a second of Brett Hahn. That's going to be very close between these two drivers, as well as Nick Fleury and David Payton, who both matched their qualifying times here today. The 25 of Nick Fleury and the 38 of David Payton. You know, all of these guys here in the top 5 that we're looking at in on the timing tower currently have all kind of been in the same place in the top 10, top 5, wherever you want to place them. They've stayed this way throughout the season. They've had the same competition week in, week out. And to see this continue on into the final few races of the season, well, it just goes to show that these drivers haven't given up. They're still determined to do whatever they can to win a race, or even just place themselves high up the grid and just do well for the race. But that is going to wrap up our qualifying for today's race, and we are going to go ahead and get started into our starting grid for the first heat race of the day. Austin Nielsen going to be starting out in first place in the 52 machine, or 52 machine, excuse me. I don't know where I got 32 from. Steve Cigars in second place in the 973, going to be running out your first row with Noah Boucher in the 16 machine, going to be in third place with Billy Thomas in the 9, going to be in fourth place, running out your second row. Charles Darling in the 88, going to be in fifth place with Rex Hoyle in the 54, going to be in sixth place, rounding out your third row. John Sinug in the 86, going to be in seventh place. Andrew Payne in the 93, going to be in eighth place in your fourth row. David Payton in the 38 in ninth place. Nick Fleury in the 25, going to be in 10th. Ron Hart in 11th. Brett Hahn going to be in 12th place here today. John Kane in 13th. Zach Kaiser in 14th. Mark Welsh in 15th. Brian Bianchi in 16th. Leo Lortz in 17th. John DeMeester in 18th. Brent Cigars in 19th. Robert Besaw Jr. in 20th. Brian Wildison in 21st. Christopher Campbell in 22nd. Eric Hahn in 23rd. And that's going to round out our field here for the race today at Irwindale. And again, this is, I assume this was dual features, but it looks like we're going to be including, never mind. I am mixing myself all up here in the booth. Getting myself all confused. Being in multiple races throughout the week, I'm all over the place here, but we are here at Irwindale Speedway for the Mtn Dew Modified Tour presented by Tagare Property Management. And I gotta say, these guys have put on quite the season. We have seen neck-to-neck battles pretty much the entirety of the season. But on the contrary, we've also seen Brett Hahn in the 71 take away the championship for this series. Now, will anyone try and step up to that call and possibly maybe even try win some races here in the final few that we have left? But only time will tell. And with how we've seen things progress throughout the season, how we've seen the races, it's always a gamble. You never really are sure who is going to come out at the top at the end of the day. As we go green flag here out of turn 4 into turn 1, Austin Nielsen in the 52. Look at that, with quite the gap that he's starting to develop between here. But looking back behind them, looks like Charles Darling, Billy Thomas going to be side by side here for that fourth place position. Looking at these two drivers. Ooh, coming into turn 3 out of 4. Look at Charles Darling down on the inside, that 88 dropping down low. He looking like he's trying to avoid some carnage there before it gets any worse. But coming into, oh, look at that. Charles out of turn 2 gets way spicy Look at that. We even have drivers going 3 wide here. John Kane in the 29 that we just tuned into before Charles Darling whipped his way up into the, well, not whipped his way. Oh, look at that right as I say that. Slides up into the 29 of John Kane. We keep it together, though. We're still green flag racing, lap 4 of 30. Oh, right as I say that, Leo Lortz looks like he's going to be involved in an incident here. Ooh, no, the 51. Christopher Campbell also involved in that one. Let's take a quick replay look at what happened here. We're looking at the 108 of Leo Lortz right behind. Oh, no. Just gets loose out of 2. Let's take a look at it one more time, folks. I wanna see what happens here just a little bit better. All right, coming out of 2. Snaps it sideways. Oh, no. Oh, even goes for a ride up on top. Wow, he went airborne. He got a solid at least 7 or 8 feet off the ground. That was insane. Leo Lortz in the 108 going to take it down into pit road. Wow, what a wreck. That's going to be our first caution of the race here today at Irwindale, and what a way to start off the race. I mean, you know, again, throughout this season, we've seen a lot of guys bumping and grinding, getting into one another, and we've seen quite a few wrecks, but that's just one of the interesting things that we've seen here throughout this season. But drivers are going to get themselves back behind the pace car, going to get themselves sorted back out here, back into double file, ready to go for the next restart here. Austin Nielsen, Noah Boucher, going to be out in front as the pace car ducks its way down into pit road. We are going to go green flag here as drivers come out of turn 4 here at Irwindale. Austin Nielsen with quite the jump here. Oh, looks like a bump from the 16 of Noah Boucher. Doesn't quite affect the 52 machine, though. We are still going here. Wow, I'm just amazed by how aggressive these guys are right out the gate. Very, very impressive driving here. Looking at the 973 of Steve Seagars in 3rd place currently. Look at that view coming out of 4. The 71 of Brett Hahn we can see in 4th place now here as well. Just the perfect time to talk about Brett Hahn, our current championship points leader here for the Mountain Dew Modified Tour. And Brett Hahn is, he's trying to find any point on the track to get as fast as possible that he can here at Irwindale. With only 23 laps to go, 30 laps for the first heat of the day and 60 for the second. And before I can even complete that sentence, the second caution has come out onto the track here today. Ron Hart looks to be involved here in this incident. Let's see if we can take a look here at what happened to the 051 of Ron Hart as he comes out of 4. Oh, just gets tapped by the 54. Let's see who that was here. The 54 of Rex Hoyle. Let's take a look at that one more time from a different angle, see if we can get a better idea of what happens here. So going into 1, dips down real low. Rex Hoyle probably not expecting Ron to come down as low as he did, and that just cascaded into a massive wreck right out the gate. Second caution here of the first heat race for the Mountain Dew Modified Tour. And Irwindale already starting to take some names and definitely adding some additional paint scrapes to the wall. Luckily, this is the virtual Irwindale, so the track managers won't have to fork up too much money to get that fixed. But as drivers get themselves sorted back out here, back behind the pace car, Austin Nielsen, Noah Boucher going to be taking it first and second as the pace car ducks down into pit road. We are going to go green flag here momentarily, and here we go. Look at that jump. Austin Nielsen getting on that loud pedal nice and early. I got to wonder if he's starting down in a gear a little bit lower than everyone else. Oh, look at that. We have Carnage down at the back. Robert Besaw in the number 3 machine. Going to be collected in an incident here. Let's take an instant replay. Look at what happened here. Robert B. Oh, he goes 3 wide into the 051. Ron Hart not having a great night here tonight. Oh, Ron is definitely finding himself in the worst of spots here. With 21 laps left to go here in the first heat race of the night, I gotta say, this is, oh, wow. These drivers have definitely been put through some, through the ringer, to say the least. As we get ourselves sorted back out here, back behind the pace car, racked and rolled for the next restart. And here we go, folks. Pace car back into pit road, and we are green flag racing here once again at Irwindale Speedway for the Mtn Dew Modified Tour. Austin Nielsen in the 52 machine with the jump on the lead. Brett Hahn out of nowhere, going to be in second place now, taking full advantage of all the track space that he can use here at Irwindale. You can see that 71 has come down all the way to the apron on most of these turns to take advantage of all the track space he can get around all the drivers that are in his way. And here he is up in second place, up 10 positions from where he started at the beginning of this race. So great job from the 71 machine of Brett the Jet Hahn. Looking at Steve Cigars in the 973, who we saw was in second place for a little bit before we saw that caution come out. Now he's in fourth place, trying to work his way back up to that second place position that he was in before. But the 16 of Noah Boucher going to be in his way, and now he's going to have Nick Fleury going to be working in on his inside as we ride on board with the 25 of Nick Fleury. Looking at the action here, working our way out of, I believe that was turn 2, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, that was turn 4. I was wrong. Alrighty, folks. Well, making a fool of myself here in the booth, but we're going to continue on as we always do. Looking at Brian Bianchi in the number 5, in the 50 machine. 9th place currently, trying to get below the 14 of Zach Heiser. Not quite able to do so here. He's trying to, you can see here, trying to close that gap as best as he can, and he's doing so very subtly. Slow and steady is the name of the game, but right as I even say that, you can see Brian Bianchi getting very close to the rear end of that 14 of Zach Heiser. And again, you don't want to send out a caution. That is the last thing you want to do. You don't want to get too close to the driver in front of you that you spin them out and ultimately cause a wreck. And that's not good for everyone. Not good for anyone. But Andrew Payne, who we weren't exactly locked on with there for a moment, Andrew, he's kind of taken the same page from the book of Brett Hahn, and they might even be reading from the same one. We might not even know. Oh, look at that. The 50, Brian Bianchi again getting very close to the rear end. Zach Heiser. Let's see if we can even ride on board here. Oops, that's the wrong one that I was trying to tune in with here. But Zach Heiser in the fort. Look at that. Brian getting absolutely on the rear end of the 14. And he sends him sideways into turn 3. Keeps it together. Zach Heiser going to be down in 11th place now. Oh my. That was almost a very, very bad wreck from the 14 of Zach Heiser. 8 laps left to go here in the first heat race here at Irwindale. Austin Nielsen in the 52 machine still out in front of the lead as he goes sideways, with Brett Hahn also collected in the mix here with 7 laps left to go. Let's take a replay. Let's see what happens here. Looking at Brett Hahn in the 7-1 machine. That was a terrible replay. Let's try that again here, folks. All right. One more time here. Looking at Brett Hahn in the 71, coming out of 4. Oh, he just gets the back of the 52 of Austin Nielsen, just barely. I want to take one more ride here. I want to get on the nose camera of Brett Hahn here in this wreck. Look at this. Right on the rear left tire of Austin Nielsen. That's, oh man, just barely. Just barely. And that's going to put Austin Nielsen all the way back to 18th. Brett Hahn going to now find himself also right behind the 52 in 19th place. So these guys both being succumbed to that problem, to that wreck there, and going to be put at the back of the field here on this restart, as it would seem. Now, who is going to be leading this field? I am not exactly 100% certain on that. Noah Boucher, actually, seems to be the leader here. So Noah didn't get involved in that. I don't know why I thought Noah was involved in that wreck. But either way, the pace car has made its way back into pit road, and we're going to be green flag racing here for the final 7 laps here at Irwindale. And, wow, this first heat race has been absolutely thrilling from start to almost finish. All of these guys fighting for every single position and not giving up an inch to one another. As we look here with Brian Bianchi, David Payton, as they go side by side for just a moment for that 5th place position rather. Look at these guys going side by side. Another caution flies out onto the field, though. John DeMeester looks like going to be involved here in this incident. Let's see if we can take a look at what happened here to the number 2 machine. So we're looking here. Oh, just gets tapped by the 86 of John Sinu. Brett Hahn also not able to avoid that wreck there as well. But John looks like he also smoked his engine. So that's going to put the 86 down into pit road, I would have to imagine. But Noah Boucher going to be our leader here on this restart. The 5th caution of the first heat race of the night. And if that doesn't tell you how this race has kind of gone for these drivers, I don't know what else will. This has been challenging for these drivers. And not in the sense that this track is difficult or that this car is necessarily difficult with this combination. It's just these guys are pushing it. This is the 3rd to last race of the season, so everyone is trying to do the best that they possibly can and finish out well at the end of the season here. And ultimately, this is the part of the season, of this whole series, where it matters, where where you place, how you finish matters. So that's a lot of what we're going to see here tonight. And as the pace car ducks down into pit road, we are going to go green flag racing here with Noah Boucher in the 16 machine, going to be out in first, leading this race here today. Nick Fleury in the 25 machine as we ride on board with Nick Fleury coming out of 2 down the back stretch, looking behind the 973 of Steve Cigars, looking down low here as he comes out of 4, but not quite enough speed. So again, a lot of these drivers here going to be trying to find whatever space they can to make passes, do whatever they can. This is all a gamble all the way until the end of this race here tonight. But everyone has done an incredible job thus far. And with 2 laps left to go, oh no, the yellow flag flies. One more time. Looks like Andrew Payne might be involved in this one here. Let's see if that was the case here. So looking at the oh, here we go. Okay, so Andrew Payne getting involved in a little bit of an incident here. Let's back this up just so you guys can have a better idea of what happens. So looking at Andrew Payne, there you see the 14, Zach Heiser, I believe, getting into the rear end of Andrew Payne, sending him sideways. And that's what's going to throw out this caution here, the 6th caution of the first heat race for tonight. And with 3 laps left to go, I'm sure that these guys are absolutely just they're ready to finish this one out. They're ready to go on to the next one. That the second heat race of the night, 60 laps that we're gonna do here at Irwindale. So I'm sure that a lot of these drivers are telling each other, hey, let's get this sorted out. Let's figure this out. We have 60 laps that we have to do for the next heat. And this is the first, and we have 6 cautions already. Definitely, I'm sure, some things, some complaints that the drivers are going to have. And they're going to want to fix some things. They're going to want to make sure that this race goes as smoothly as possible, not just for themselves, but for everyone involved. As we go green flag here once again, Noah Boucher in the 16, going to be out in the lead with 2 laps left to go. Is he going to be able to take home the win for the first heat race here at Irwindale Speedway? The possibility is very, very high. The final lap, the white flag is out here at Irwindale. Noah Boucher in the lead. Steve Cigars in 2nd place, and Nick Fleury going to be in 3rd. As we make our way through turn 3 and out of 4, Nick Fleury down on the inside. He's going to take that 3rd place spot across the line. Noah Boucher in 1st place with Steve Cigars in 2nd, and Nick Fleury going to be in 3rd place. And that is going to conclude our first heat race for today. And here is your results from the first heat. Noah Boucher in 1st, Steve Cigars in 2nd, and Nick Fleury going to be in 3rd place. Billy Thomas in 4th, David Payton in 5th, Brian Bianchi in 6th, Mark Welsh in 7th, Brent Cigars in 8th, Rex Hoyle in 9th, Brian Wilderson in 10th. That's going to round out your top 10 for the first heat race. We are going to go to a very short commercial break, and we will be right back with the action here for the Mtn Dew Modified Tour presented by Tagare Property Management. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere, and we will be right back with more iRacing here. Alrighty, welcome back, race fans. We are here for the third to last race for the Mtn Dew Modified Tour, presented by Tagare Property Management. We're just wrapping up our warm-up here for the second heat race of the night after we saw Noah Boucher take home the win for the first race, for the first heat. Will he be able to take home the second one here today after I believe, a inverted field for the second heat race? I believe the top 10 do get inverted for the second, if I'm not mistaken. So we will find out here in just a moment as warm-up has just concluded, and we are going to go and get started for our second heat race here tonight as it warms up, or as it wraps up here. And here is our starting grid. It does not invert for the second. I was mistaken on that one. It is only for the first heat race. Now, Noah Boucher starting out in first place, Steve Cigars in second, Nick Fleury in third, Billy Thomas in fourth, David Payton in fifth, Brian Bianchi in sixth place, Mark Welsh going to be in seventh, Brent Cigars in eighth place, Brex Hoyle in ninth, Brian Wildison in 10th, Ron Hart in 11th, Austin Nielsen going to be in 12th place, Eric Hahn in 13th, Brett Hahn in 14th, the father and son duo, John Kane in 15th, John DeMeester in 16th, Zach Kaiser in 17th, Andrew Payne in 18th, Charles Darling in 19th, John Sinu in 20th, Robert Besaw Jr. in 21st, Leo Lortz in 22nd, and Christopher Campbell going to be in 23rd for the second heat race here at Irwindale. 60 laps that we're going to be doing for the second heat race here tonight. And I got to say again, folks, if you were here for the first heat race and you saw all the action, all the carnage that we saw throughout that one, well, I expect to see hopefully a little bit of improvement, and hopefully we'll see drivers have a little more opportunities for green flag driving here as we get ready to see the pace car come down into pit road for the first green flag lap of the second heat race here at Irwindale Speedway for the Mtn Dew Modified Tour, presented by Tagare Property Management. And out of turn 4, we will see the pace car not drop down into pit road. I was lied to. Folks, this is a first here in the booth. iRacing has lied to me. I'm just kidding. This would not be the first time. This would be the first of many. Now, again, this is the second heat race. We've seen a lot of interesting action in the first. Let's see how this shakes up here for the first race, for the first lap of the second heat race, with Noah Boucher starting out in first place. Green flag is out. Nick Fleury, Steve Cigar is going to be second and third place. Look at these two side by side going into 1 and 2 down the back stretch. They're still door to door. First caution isn't even out before we make it into turn 3. Brian Wildison going to be involved in the first wreck here. Let's see what happens with the 951 machine here on the outside of the 051. Ron Hart, oh no, sends a driver up on his roof. Brent Cigars in the 990 gonna be involved in that wreck here tonight. And again, not even out of turn 2 before we see the first caution come out of the second heat race. Gotta say, I'm not terribly surprised given how hard these guys have been driving. This race. We've seen drivers trying to push 3 wide, trying to draft one another like you wouldn't believe. This has been some pretty intense racing from all of these drivers. So frankly, from a commentator's point of view, this is great racing. Even with the cautions, even with all the carnage that we're seeing on the track, these drivers are giving it all, and it's great to see. No one's holding back. Everyone is giving it 110% and then some, and that's what you want to see here. When it's the third to last race of the season, you definitely want to be giving it your all. So that's what we're going to see here, and here we go again. The second green flag attempt here of the race, of the second heat race here tonight. Noah Boucher still going to be out in first place. Nick Fleury getting a little bit of trouble down there on the inside line. He's going to take it up top there for just only a moment. Ron Hart looking down way on the inside there, taking advantage of the apron there. It's not going to quite cut it to what he was probably hoping it would, but still trying to make his way through the field here. Looking at Ron Hart, look at him still out of turn 3 and 4. He's taking that way down low onto the apron, trying to take advantage of all the grip down there if there is any, but it doesn't really seem like it's helping him too much up here in the front. I mean, it's definitely helping him work his way up the field just a little. I mean, well, even as I say that, he's up into 5th place now already, so he's definitely not having too many troubles here. But looking at wrong camera angle here, Brian Bianchi here in the 50 machine, who's just behind Billy Thomas. Kind of give you a better idea of what's happening here on the track. Out of 2, down the back stretch into 3. Look at how the field shifts around up in front of him. A lot of interesting action that we have happening throughout the field, and frankly, I don't think it's going to change anytime soon. Lap 7 of 60 here. Mark Welsh in the 74 machine, going to be in 5th place currently. Oh, you can see the 9 of Billy Thomas just behind him, trying to get as close as he can, trying to find any opportunity to make a pass, but it's not quite going to be enough here. So we have a number of drivers going side by side here just behind them as we lock on with Rex Hoyle, and the yellow flag is out here once again. Billy Thomas looks like to be one of the drivers involved in the 9 machine. So we ride on board here. Oh, there he goes. Spins it sideways. Oh, man. Oh, no. Not a great day for the number 9 of Billy Thomas, as he's going to take it down into pit road here as well and get some damage repaired to that 9 machine. Hopefully get it back out on track to be able to complete this race here today. Lap 10 of 60 for the second heat race here at Irwindale Speedway for the Mtn Dew Modified Tour. And again, from the first heat race into the second, Irwindale is still taking names, taking numbers, and is definitely harvesting car parts to build its own monster car to rebuild and race against the guys. I'm just kidding. But as drivers get themselves sorted back, outlined back up here, and ready to go for the next restart, looks like we're going to have our pace car drop back down here in just a moment. And indeed it does, right as I switch to the wrong graphic. Perfect timing, as I like to say it. And as we go green here, Noah Boucher. Ooh, look at that. Nick Fleury, Steve Cigars. Oh my gosh, Ron Hart. They go wheel to wheel out of 2. Oh man, Nick Fleury, Ron Hart absolutely duking it out for 3rd place here. Spreading out just a little bit out of 2. 4. The caution's out again. What happened? Rex Hoyle involved in another incident here. Let's see what, well, I don't want to say another, but in an incident here. Let's see what happens. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Hold up. Let's take things back here just a second. Let's go up to our handy-dandy blimp camera that the Team Goon Squad blimp was able to stop by here in Irwindale and be here for today's race. Let's take a look at what happens here from up above. Oh, no. So it starts up top. Let's take things back here just a little bit more. All right, so look up top there. You see the number 3. Robert Besaw gets a little bit loose. I think Nick Fleury also involved in that. It almost looks like 2 separate incidents that ultimately cascaded into one giant wreck. Yeah, and, you know, honestly, that's a lot of what we've seen here tonight. We've seen a lot of just minor wrecks, minor incidents, minor slip-ups here and there that have just cascaded into larger events than they needed to be. So with the third caution here of the second heat race for the Mtn Dew Modified Tour presented by Tagare Property Management, you know, again, I've said this a couple times throughout the broadcast. The first heat race was kind of the biggest clue into what I think we would expect here for the second heat race, which is just a lot of instability. I think is the word that I think is the best to use in this case. It's just a lot of drivers wanting to do the best they can and ultimately having little mistakes here and there. As we go green flag here, once again, lap 12 of 60 for the second heat race here at Irwindale Speedway. Noah Boucher out in front, Ron Hart in second place. Nick Fleury, Brian Bianchi going to be duking it out for that third place position for just a moment. But right as I say that, Andrew Payne going to be ducking down real low there, almost getting into the wheels of Brian Bianchi. But able to keep it together here. We're still racing. Andrew Payne, he's on a mission here. I think Andrew Payne, he had a taste of being out there in the front, and he's itching to get back out there again. And I know that the 93 of Andrew, he's got it. He definitely has what it takes to be up there battling up for that first place position, but it's just those couple little mistakes or just those couple little setbacks here and there that set back that 93 machine, and he has to work his way back up through the field and do the same thing over again. Who is this? Noah Boucher gets way back in the field, down into 6th place. Ron Hart taking the lead. I really wish I was tuned into what happened here with the 16 of Ron Hart. I really don't know exactly what happened here with Noah Boucher. It seemed like he might have got into the wall and just grinded it all the way down to 6th place, and that ultimately opened the door to the 051, and Ron Hart taking away the lead here. But we still have battles forming. These guys are not giving up. Everyone is here fighting for every position that they can, and Andrew Payne, one of those drivers here, up 14 positions from where he started here in this race tonight. 4th place right now. Brian Bianchi in the 50 machine, gonna be in 3rd right now. Look at these guys just absolutely menacing down the track here. Looking at Zach Heiser up above from the blimp camera in the 14 machine. in 5th place currently. You can kind of see how far these guys are spread out from one another. Oh, look at that. Great racing that we're seeing from all of these drivers here tonight. Lap 21 of 60. Here at Irwindale, and it's been wheel to wheel, door to door racing, however you want to picture it, however you want to call it. Oh, look at this up front! Nick Fleury gonna get. Wow, I'm sorry, folks, if that was a little loud in your ears, but that was very intense to see from Nick Fleury. He almost got down into the bottom wall, got sent sideways, but able to keep it together. He's still racing. 5th place now, but still on track. Didn't send a caution out. We're still going to be green. Impressive driving out of the 25 of Nick Fleury. Let's take a ride on board with Mark Welsh in the 74 machine. Oops, wrong camera. And let's have a listen to a couple laps here at Irwindale. And of course, right as I send you guys to ride on board with the driver, we go to another caution here for the second heat race, and I think that's just karma on my end, but we're gonna take a look at the replay of what happened here. Christopher Campbell looks like gonna be involved here in this incident. Let's see what happens for the 5-1. Oh no, looks like excuse me, it looked like the 26 was the number I read, but that doesn't seem to be right. Let's take another look here at John Sinew's perspective. The 86, not the 26. Why? Numbers getting all confused up here in the booth. Look at that. John Sinew right into the rear end of the 51 of Christopher Campbell. So that's going to send our 4th caution out here for the race. We're going to go to another quick commercial break, and we will be right back here for the Mtn Dew Modified Tour presented by Tagare Property Management. Stay tuned for more iRacing here on Team Goon Squad.
Driver Carrington gets dumped by Benami. The leaders are winding up here. Daytona, the big one is out.
And welcome back, race fans, to the Mtn Dew Modified Tour presented by Tagare Property Management here at Irwindale Speedway. As we are about to go green here once again after our 4th caution for the second heat race. What are our drivers going to do here with the next green flag run? Ron Hart going to be out in the lead as he tries to get away from this field here as quickly as he possibly can. Zach Heiser, Andrew Payne going to be duking it out here. 2nd place, Andrew Payne has been slowly working his way back up to this top 3 here, and I think he's quite possibly done it as he's now down way low on the inside. Zach Heiser coming out at 2, excuse me, 4. We're already wrecking here once again. Rex Hoyle gonna be involved here. Look at all these cars. Oh, we have someone on top of their, oh no, Leo Lortz in the 108 machine, gonna be on his roof here into turn 1, it looks like. Let's see if we can get another replay from Leo Lort's perspective. We'll get things a little bit wider angle here just so everyone can see what happens. Oh, it happens right in front of him. All right, you know what? We're going to do this again since we have time. All right. We're going to go inside the 108 of Leo Lortz and see what happens in front of him. So you can see the action. Yeah, he tries to get on his brakes, and it's not enough. And ultimately sends him rolling over. And that camera angle giving me some Arma 3 flashbacks. But we're not here for Arma 3. We're here for iRacing. So with that in mind, our 5th caution of the 2nd heat race of the night. We're just about halfway through this race, and actually I think about just the same amount of cautions as the 1st heat race. I gotta be wondering to myself, excuse me, what are some of these drivers gonna be expecting to do here? Kind of going into this final half of the race, we've seen a lot of instability throughout this race. I don't want to say that drivers have been looking erratic or, you know, all over the track. I think what the problem is ultimately drivers are they're trying to push themselves. This definitely seems like the track where you want to try and push things a little bit. You want to try and see, okay, how far can I accelerate into this turn before I actually have to get on the brake and make sure that I don't send myself into the wall. You know, I really think that this is what we're seeing here tonight. I think a lot of drivers here are truly trying to push their limits, trying to see what their car can do here at Irwindale. And it might even be the fact that Irwindale is simply just a tricky track. It's not easy, and it definitely seems like it isn't. As we are going to go green here once more with Zach Heiser going to be in the lead at the moment, although the timing tower does seemingly display that Zach Hart is in the lead, or Ron Hart is in the lead, excuse me, but I think that is actually incorrect, as Zach Heiser is going to be, no, excuse me, Ron Hart is in the lead. I don't know where I got that confusion from, but Ron Hart is going to be our race leader at this point in time, lap 29 of 60. One more to go before we are halfway through this race, and in this 2nd heat race, we have seen a lot of this field, especially in the front, switch up quite a bit. We have not seen the same the same drivers essentially up in the front 3 throughout any portion of this race. Hardly. It's constantly been switching up, and it makes me appreciate more how much these guys are pushing through this field. They're trying to do whatever they possibly can. They're being as aggressive as they possibly can without putting themselves in a detrimental situation. So Nick Fleury in the 25 machine, who we have also seen slowly chipping away at this field, trying to get themselves back into the top 3, as we have our 6th caution come out here for the race. It looks like, not exactly sure who was involved in this one. Let's see if we can take a look at what happened here. I think John Cena was involved in a... Yes, he was. Okay, so looks like John Cena involved in an incident here. Coming out of turn, it looks like turn 2. So John up on top of 2. He gets slightly tapped by the, I think that was the 973 of Steve Cigars. So out of the backstretch, those two drivers gonna touch tires and ultimately send out the 6th caution of the race here tonight. We are going to take another quick commercial break, and we will be right back, folks. Stay tuned.
Driver Carrington gets dumped by Benami. The leaders are winding up here. Daytona. The big one is out.
Welcome back, race fans, to the Mountain Dew Modified Tour presented by Tagare Property Management. As we are getting ready to go back green flag racing here once again. Ooh, boy. All right, there we go. So Ron Hart going to be out in front as the pace car ducks down into pit road, and we are green flag racing here once again. Andrew Payne, look at that, right on the bumper. Going into turn 1, is Andrew Payne going to be able to stick it out in first place? Coming out of turn 2, down the back stretch, Andrew Payne, not quite enough speed to make it work. Ron Hart going to stick it down low going into 3. He's going to give himself quite the lead here in front of that 93 of Andrew Payne. Andrew still just within striking distance as he gets right back onto the bumper of the 051 machine. Going back into turn 3. Andrew goes way wide. Ron Hart opting to go down low. That's going to give him a little bit more space here, but Andrew Payne still sticking with the 051 of Ron Hart. So we're seeing some great battle happening here out in front for the lead as these two drivers kind of swap back and forth, but we have a driver sideways, Steve Cigars. Oh no, look at that. Gonna be involved in that wreck here as we go to another yellow flag. Let's see what happens from Charles Darling in the 88 machine. Let's go up high here as well from the blip camera. Oh no. Tap from the Andrew Payne, and he collects more drivers. All those drivers looking high, not able to find any way around that carnage. That is going to collect quite a number of the field here with 25 laps to go. 7th caution here of the second heat race. My oh my, folks. This has been some racing. Quite some racing indeed, and we've seen this again all night long. Drivers have been giving it their all, and that's what you ultimately what you want to see. You want to see drivers pushing it, really want to trying to do what they can here, and I think that's what we're seeing here tonight. So with all the racing that we've seen tonight and all the action amongst the drivers, Ron Hart currently going to be looking to take home the win tonight with 25 laps to go, but Noah Boucher in 8th place currently, who took home the win for the first heat race of the night, is not exactly going to be out of the picture here to possibly win tonight's race, assuming that things will go the way that they've been going. However, if Ron Hart, Andrew Payne, Zach Heiser are able to see a green flag run here for the final 25 laps as we go green flag here once again with Ron Hart out in the lead. Ron and the other two that I mentioned might possibly be able to take home a podium finish for the race here tonight, but we have seen some excellent battling happening throughout the track here all night long. Look at Brett Hahn in the 71 machine working his way into 5th place now. 24 laps to go. This is going to be a very, very short shootout with lap times currently being around the neighborhood of 17 seconds. These 23 laps that we see right now are going to disappear right before your very eyes as drivers rip their way around the track. Charles Darling going to be in the 88 machine in 7th place currently now, as he's followed single file behind the 50 of Brian Bianchi coming out of turn, I believe that was turn 2. No, excuse me, that was the backstretch. Yes, coming into turn 3. So Charles Darling here still also another driver that we've seen trying to work his way up into the top 5, or really just the lead in general. It's really a struggle here at Irwindale. It definitely seems like this is a track that you're either very, very good at or you're not very good at. There definitely seems to be a lot of... I don't have a good word for it at the moment, but we're seeing a lot of very excellent racing, a lot of talented drivers out on track currently, trying to do the best that they possibly can here, and especially Nick Fleury here in the 25 machine, who's currently duking it out with the 71 of Brett Hahn as he's on the outside of that 71 machine. Coming down the front stretch into turn 1, you can see Brett Hahn ripping it way down low there. Brett Hahn doing the same strategy that he's been all night, and it seems to be working for him. I don't know exactly if it's going to put him in the position to get out into the top 3 or maybe even in first place, but with 17 laps to go, anything is possible, anything can happen, so I don't want to exactly put Brett Hahn out of the picture here as he goes on to the inside of Nick Fleury. Coming out of turn 2, 4. That was 4. Getting all my turns mixed up here, folks. Look at this. Look at this. We have battles forming here for P4 as well as up in front. Ron Hart, Andrew Payne almost getting door to door, wheel to wheel for just a moment there. With 14 laps to go, Ron Hart ultimately is going to be relying on consistency at this point. He's got a lot of drivers around him who are fully taking advantage of every single portion of this track as they can. For example, Brett Hahn here in the 71. Let's take a lap on board here with the 71. So Brett Hahn absolutely trying everything he can here, but it seems like it's not completely working the way that he might want it to. And I mean that in the sense that I feel like Brett Hahn is definitely trying to take advantage of that lower line, and it definitely seems to be playing in his favor in most cases, but in this scenario where he's trying to catch up to the guys out in front, and in this case Ron Hart, it's a slow battle. And I think with only 8 laps left to go, oh man, Bret Hart. Why am I thinking of Bret Hart? Brett Hahn in the 71 as he takes 4th place position from, ooh, look at that, getting very close out in front of the 25 of Nick Fleury. Oh man, yeah, you know, Brett absolutely trying everything he can here to work his way up into the top 3. Oh no, Nick Fleury sideways. Just for a moment, it doesn't bring out the caution. If you were looking on your screen, he just got wicked loose out of 4, I believe. Able to keep it together. He's still on the track, still racing, so great maneuvers there out of the 25, but that's going to cost him quite a bit of positions. As, again, tuning back in here with the 71 of Brett Hahn, we're looking at the 14 of Zach Kaiser, but just trying to get an idea of what's happening here in the top 4 as we go 4 laps left to go. This race is going to start heating up here, folks. Ron Hart still out in the lead. Andrew Payne in 2nd place. Here we go. Brett Hahn takes it down low into 1 out of 2, or excuse me, into 3 out of 4. Down the front stretch, he goes wheel to wheel. Oh my gosh, here Zach Kaiser almost gets wicked loose there as they go wheel to wheel. Brett Hahn taking another chance down on the apron. Oh, out of 4 down the front stretch. He's still holding on to 2nd. 2 laps left to go. Out of 4 down the back stretch. It's Ron Hart, Brett Hahn, Andrew Payne, and Zach Kaiser. But the caution comes out here once again. John Kane gonna be involved in this one. Let's take a look at the replay and see exactly what happened to the 29 of John Kane. Looking at John on the outside, he gets sent sideways. Not sure who that was. Let's see if we can take another replay of what happened here. That's going to be the 108 of Leo Lords. Two laps left to go here at Irwindale. And after a... Oh, I don't even have words to describe how the battles have been throughout this race and how they have formed up until this point. It has been up and down this whole time. And Ron Hart ultimately finding himself at the top of it all. As we go green here once again with 2 laps left to go. Ron Hart out in front. Brett Hahn going to be in 2nd place here. Going to be trying to see if he can take home a win here for the 3rd to last race of the Mtn Dew Modified Tour presented by Tagare Property Management. As the white flag flies, it is the final lap. Ron Hart, Brett Hahn, down the back stretch. Ron Hart, Brett Hahn Down on the inside of Ron Hart. Brett Hahn able to take out just in front of the lead. Brett Hahn just sticks it out just enough to take home the win for tonight's race of the Mountain Dew Modified Tour, with Ron Hart in second and Andrew Payne in third place. Oh my, folks. Honestly, if you were tuned in just about 20 minutes ago, I was saying I wasn't expecting Brett Hahn to be able to work his way up here into the top three, let alone to take home the win, but here he is, taking some celebratory burnouts on the checkered line. A well-earned and deserved win for the 71 machine of Brett Hahn here tonight at Irwindale. And honestly, a extremely impressive race from everyone else here from the American Sim Racing Club. What's some great racing that we've seen, and we are going to go ahead and get our drivers up here for post-race interviews. Here are your post-race results for the drivers currently, and we are going to go ahead and get started. Get our drivers here into the booth for their interviews here, starting with Andrew Payne in the 93 machine. Going to be starting out our post-race interviews. Taking home third for tonight. Andrew Payne, do you have a read, sir? Andrew, do you have a read? Andrew, sir, do you have a read?
I got to read, Mason.
Andrew, well, after realizing I was not doing the right thing here in my booth to talk to you, well, Andrew, you came home third for tonight's race, but I was watching that 93 machine for both the first and the second heat race. You had something going in there. What was it about Irwindale that kind of seemed to slip up the whole field tonight?
I mean, this track is tough. It's normally a high side dominant track, as you can probably tell. But I mean, there's a few of us that can make the bottom work or the middle work, and you would really have to send it in there to get a slide job them out of the corner. But it's a tough track to even run up high, because if you overshoot entry at all, you're gonna probably get in the wall, and you're burning off the right rear, and it's a tough place. But man, this is a really fun place to race.
Absolutely. It looked like a fun race here in the booth, and you mentioned that this is kind of a high line track. Now, throughout the race, I was seeing a lot, well, not a lot, but a good portion of drivers taking that apron out of, I believe it was 1 and 2. What do you think was kind of the strategy there? Do you think it helped for some drivers there, or do you think it was kind of just a last ditch effort to make overtakes?
Um, a little bit of everything, I think. The bottom could free up the car a little bit, get a better rotation through the corner, and it is kind of the only way to pass here at times. Um, I know I was doing it. I know Brett was doing it. The bottom does work, especially in 3 and 4. If you can get it, I got to pass on Zach doing it that way. And I don't know, you just got to get a good run off of 2 in order to get a good run into the corner. And if you can really send it in there and clear the guy even before you get to the apex, and then get a good run off and kind of be able to slide up, it works. But yeah, the apron works really well, and it takes a little bit of practice to get it. I kind of sort of had an unfair advantage because I got to see some racing at this track in real life a few weeks back, so I kind of had an idea of where a good line here was, and I'm sure that you could probably tell up in the booth that I had a couple lines figured out, and yeah, they seem to work from what I saw. So, but yeah, the bottom, if you can make it work, it works really well.
Well, Andrew, taking some notes from the real-life racers into the sim world, taking home third place here at Irwindale for the Mountain Dew Modified Tour for the third to last race of the season. Andrew, I want to congratulate you on taking home third. You have had a hell of a season throughout this whole season. It's been incredible watching you, both in the super late models and going into the Mountain Dew Modified Tours. Andrew, before I let you go and celebrate tonight, is there anyone at home, anyone watching the broadcast that you want to shout out or thank before you go?
First of all, as always, huge thanks to our title sponsors, Mountain Dew, PepsiCo, Frito-Lay, Tagare. They're a huge part and supporters of the league. You, Mason, and Team Goon Squad for broadcasting and calling these races. As personal sponsors, I'd like to thank V&H Fresh, Sister Side Sawn Mower, Hall Metal Fab, QuickTime, Premier Racing Setups, my parents and grandparents for supporting me from real life racing to sim racing, all the admins and racers that show up each and every week and support the league.
Absolutely, Andrew. Well, thank you for joining me in the booth, and again, congratulations on taking home third. Andrew, thank you for joining me, and I will see you in the second to last race going into next week.
All right, thank you, Mason.
Absolutely, Andrew. Have a great night.
You too.
All right, everyone. Andrew Payne out of the booth in the 93 machine, taking home third place for the night. Up next is going to be Ron Hart in the 051 machine. Let's see if we can bring him down here. It does not look like we have a Ron Hart available. So we are going to move on to our race winner, Brett Hahn, in the 71 machine. Let's go ahead and bring him down here. Brett, sir, can you read me?
Yeah, I got you, Mason.
Brett, you have had an incredible season here in the Mountain Dew Modified Tour. You have taken on quite a lot of challenging races here and come out on top, and I think tonight was definitely one of them. Now, given that you weren't starting out in the front in either the first or the second heat race, you had a lot stacked up against you, but you were able to come out here in the second heat race and take home first. Brett, what was it like here at Irwindale? What are your thoughts, and are you glad that tonight is over with?
Oh man, Mason, I wish we could do another race because my heart can't take it, but man, I'd love to get back out there because this put on some awesome racing. Yeah, Mason, I had to start in the invert at 12th, made my way up to the front with Austin, and I tried to guess the opposite line of where he was going, went low, and he went low with me, and we got some neck code, and I turned him. So that put me to the back again and kind of put me to the back of the feature, so had to overcome another obstacle there. Then in the feature, making my way through, falling Austin, and then they get into it a little bit in front of him. I hit Austin again, go to the back once again with some damage this time, but able to make the 71 machine roll that inside. The key was kind of just keeping your momentum up in 1 and 2 just below the dash line, really trying to be gentle but aggressive on the throttle. Then 3 and 4, man, just driving it down, driving it down until you almost can't turn the car, let's say. Then a little bit on the brakes, but the key was really waiting on the throttle. Everyone seemed to be picking up way more, and it would push the front end. You had to really wait, but once you waited, you could really roll into the throttle hard, get a straight shot off, and man, it was working for that 71 car. Because I tell you what, I was side by side with Nick Fleury for 15 laps. I'm like, man, these leaders are checking out. I don't got a shot. Then a little bit of contact with the 93 and the 14 slowed them both up. I was luckily on the inside, got around them. My heart was racing through that, just passing them. And then we get the green-white checkered, and my heart picked up some more. I wish I had a heart meter on me because, man, it was going crazy, that green-white checkered. And awesome racing to Ron once again. I was having flashbacks to last week where I took out the leader on the white flag lap through 3 and 4. I saw Ron kind of go down to kind of defend. Thank goodness he gave me the room. That's the kind of racer he is. He's awesome like that. I gotta give a huge shout out to the 051 machine because Ron Hart is a wheel, man. I give you that. And just waited in the corner till my normal throttle spot and hoped that I got on it sooner than Ron. Luckily I did. And man, Mason, whoo!
Brett, I think you about just touched on everything I was going to ask you. Honestly, tonight was an incredible feat for not only yourself, but everyone else who was involved in this race. I mean, the first heat race, the second heat race, we seen multiple cautions come out throughout the race. So multiple restarts and just a lot of just unsteadiness throughout the field. Yeah, it ultimately just it affected the whole field. But Brett, you were able to stay out on top of it. You kept calm, you kept steady, and you kept chipping away at that. And Brett, literally probably 20 laps to go before the broadcast ended. I was sitting there, I was looking at you, and I was talking about you, and I was like, I don't know if Brett's gonna have enough drive here with only 8 or so laps to go, to really take home the win here tonight. But here you are. I'm here talking to you tonight. And Brett, what was it like just in those final 10 laps? What was kind of going through your head when you're P6, P7 or whatever, and you're just trying to work through those guys and ultimately just trying to find every inch of track that you can to get around them?
Yeah, that 25 machine of Nick Fleury put up a huge battle. We were battling until, I want to say, 5-6 to go or so when I finally cleared him. Had to, of course, clear myself just a little. Gave me a love tap because I did come up just in front of his nose. But, yeah, Mason, I was really trying to be conservative with the throttle because these tour mods have so much power in these motors that even though they're on these wide tires, you can still burn off the right rear. So I was really trying to be gentle with the right rear and save it when I had to go. But I tell you what, I was burning off that right rear trying to get around that 25 machine of Nick Fleury. I'm like, man, I don't got any tires left. But luckily, I got around him, and then the 2 cars in front of me made some contact. I was luckily on the low side, able to just get around him. And then, yeah, with Ron, I dialed my brake bias all the way forwards. I said, I'm going to go drive this thing in as deep as I did all night, jump on the throttle, and hope she stick. And she never broke traction with the rear tires, and that's what gave me such great runs to catch that 051 car in those 2 laps because I didn't think I had it coming to the white flag. I was like a car and a half, 2 car lengths back. I'm like, no way do I have it. Rolled an awesome 1 and 2, and then he gave me the room just enough in 3 and 4, and it was an awesome drag race, Mason. I still can't believe it. I'm so glad we got the monkey off our back the last 2 weeks. Terrible finishes for the 71 machine. So glad we can bounce back and hopefully finish off the season strong.
Yeah, absolutely, Brett. I mean, you're still leading the championship quite well, and to come home with a first place finish for the third to last race of the season, Brett, you're doing a fantastic job, and it's been thrilling to watch the 71 machine just dominate this field as much as it has, and hopefully we'll get to see that going on into the final couple races that we have of the season. But Brett, before I let you go, before I let you celebrate and get some whiskey in your belly, is there anyone at home, anyone watching the broadcast that you want to thank or shout out before I let you go?
Oh, yeah, Mason. Of course, you at Team Goon Squad, you, Mason, for putting on an awesome show. I can't wait to rewatch this replay back. It's going to be a blast. Got the normal Brett the Jet paint scheme on, so got to give a shout-out to the old Broaster Chicken QuickTime Motorsports Media. If you need a paint scheme, check them out. They do some awesome work. Of course, Turn 3 Racing Network, got to give them a shout-out. Grammy watching, love you. Hopefully you got a kick out of this one. Awesome race. Got to give a shout-out to my dad. He was trying to get those repairs done and then got caught up in one of those big ones. Sadly, had to park it for the night, so heartbreak for him. Of course, all the other racers out here tonight, that was some awesome racing. I had a blast. Got to give a sorry again to Austin Nielsen in the 52 for turning him in that heat race. Got to give a shout-out to all my teammates out there, the admins for putting this on, and all the other Brett the Jet fans watching out there. We got us another one. We're going to go celebrate it big time in Victory Lane, Mason, tonight. It's going to be a long night of partying.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations, Brett. And, hopefully yourself and Papa Jet can have another successful race next week and hopefully get to talk to you next week again. Brett, thank you for coming up here and chatting with me in the booth. As always, Brett, I look forward to hopefully seeing you at the final end of the season and hopefully take away the championship. But Brett, I'm gonna let you go and have a great night and celebrate and crack open a cold one for me, and that'll be all for you.
All right, thanks, Mason. Yeah, I'm going to go party it up. Once again, got to give a shout out to the wheelman, Ron Hart. He's an awesome racer, and awesome finish, but forgot to mention him. But yep, we're gonna go celebrate. Thanks again, Mason. Woo!
All right, have a great night, Brett.
You too.
Alrighty, folks. Brett the Jet Hahn gonna be out of the booth, taking home the win tonight for the Mountain Dew Modified Tour, presented by Tagare Property Management here at Irwindale Speedway. My name is Mason Heimball with Team Goon Squad, bringing you the action. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button and subscribe. If you haven't already, stay tuned with all the action that we have here on Team Goon Squad. 7 days a week. My name is Mason Heimball once again. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next week.
Driver Carrington gets dumped by Benami. The leaders are winding up here. Daytona's a pit. What is out?